Hello. Hi, everyone.
Hi, y'all.
Wow.
Thanks for coming. Good to be here. All right, what do you guys want to talk about?
I don't know. I always like picture 10-year-old me looking out at you and it's like, all these, what's all the rectangles? It's just a new day.
Totally.
I'm in Marin County. I'm AI, not here. So, you know.
Love it.
I know. You
Well,
don't.
let's talk. Should we talk about Wrexham? Yeah. I think we should
I'd
talk
love
about
to
Wrexham.
talk about Wrexham. Yeah.
First of all, congrats
Thank
on
you.
the last season. Huge
Thank
news.
you very much.
Really exciting. And let's talk about sports and Wrexham's role in storytelling and the platform and the canvas it creates for brands. I think is incredible. We're sitting here with the front of jersey sponsor and the back of jersey sponsor.
Yeah.
Amazing.
MetaQuest and United, for those wondering who that might be.
Good job, Ryan.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that was good.
I tried.
Yeah. Ryan, can you tell us how you went about, besides cool brands, amazing marketers, and probably money, picking partners and your criteria as you thought about it?
Well, you know, so much of Wrexham is like an experiment in listening. I mean, you can't tell, especially when you're doing a docuseries, you can't tell the story. You have to listen to the story and then share it. So a lot of that listening really rendered a real feel. Like Wrexham is a proud town. It is a town that is working class, but really went through true hardship. I remember the first week I was there, I talked to a woman and she said, why Wrexham? And I said, well, why not? And she said, and it just this is when I fell in love with the town. And she said, because nothing good ever happens to us here. And I just thought, holy shit, what a thing to say, or what a thing to feel daily. And so when you're looking at partners that you're going to bring on board, when you're looking at players, when you're looking at anyone you're going to bring into this ecosystem called Wrexham, they have to have the values and this sort of sense of community that reflects theirs as well. And that's kind of one of the things that was the mandate from the first second we started there. It was just really listen and really make sure that we are a part of their story as opposed to pulling them into our story. So,
I love that. Well, and knowing these two, how they go about it and their companies, I think nails it from the start.
Yeah.
But I'd love to hear from each of you how you went about thinking of partnering with Wrexham. I mean, Maggie, you guys have been in since 2023.
Yeah. I know, Ryan and I, we were just saying backstage, this is our friendiversary.
yes, friendiversary.
That's right.
We had a friend DA about that, but I guess that's out the window now.
Exactly. I think 4 years ago here in Cannes, we were talking about, what we could do together, and by no means is this a traditional sports partnership for us. Oftentimes those start by geography. So where are places that we fly, have a lot of customers, and then we tend to build back from there. So you might know United Airlines, we're very proudly the world's largest airline, but we do not fly to Wales. We'll probably never fly to Wales. But
We don't fly to Wales at all.
Right.
Nope.
Right. But this was really about attaching our brand to culture. And United, an almost 100-year-old company, we were ready to really show up as a different type of airline. And so it was awesome, the storytelling that they were building to come on board, to be part of the social media content, the storytelling locally in the community, the docuseries. So it really gave us an opportunity to do something we never had before.
I love it. And you all just nail getting in front of that. United Social, if you don't follow it, some of that team's out here, it's amazing.
Thank you.
And for MetaQuest, it was an opportunity for us to showcase the fact that the players were actually using Quest to train off the field. They were using Rezzil to stay in shape and work out. They were using VR, again, to play and have fun. And it also allowed us to actually recreate the stadium. We recreated it for fans that couldn't actually travel, although there's now more flights to Wrexham, which is great, and I highly recommend it. It is an amazing town. And we recreated that environment so that they could feel like they were there and experience what it is like to be on the Stoke racecourse and bring that experience home to fans all around the world that have watched Welcome to Wrexham for all of those seasons. And so we brought that experience home to them. So Quest VR allows that experience home.
That's incredible. We're going to play some footage in a bit of even the players wearing them and watching their experience of it. I just put some on. Thank you. Incredible. Ryan, you talked about the fans and how you started there with listening is so important. Talk about how you think as you scale this brand, and it's now become really a global entertainment brand beyond sport, how you continue to keep the heart of Wrexham in it as you scale.
Well, I mean, Wrexham is just so special for so many reasons, but as we sort of grow and expand, you know, the story that's unfolding before our eyes is not, we're not in control of it. So it's happening as some of it has been the ball bounced our way. We just got lucky in this one moment. And other times it's heart. Like that town has so much heart, and you have a coach who will always take character over talent, because having a locker room that is united in that way and really has each other's back in a way that I've never seen anywhere in any industry, is a beautiful thing. And as you grow, you want to make sure that you're growing, but you're keeping the intimacy of the place. And I think that's been the one tenet that Rob McElhenney we've been so guarded about, really, is even the stadium's got to grow. I mean, I remember the first time I did a press conference there, and I said, you know, somebody asked, there was thousands of people. The supporters were there, and then the media was there, and one of the media people asked me, how far do you think this dream goes? And I said, well, we're going to take this team to the Premier League. And they laughed, and, you know, even the players laughed. But they're not laughing now. We're in the championship. I mean, that's one step away from, you know, the biggest stage in the sports world. I mean, it's just it's a wild thing. So I mean, and also the other thing I love about this place is that if you ask somebody 4 or 5 years ago where they are from, and if they're from Wrexham, they would often say North Wales, and I just love seeing people say, I'm from Wrexham, and they're just the pride that they have in it. And it's this, I feel it too. And I think the reason this story resonates is there's a Wrexham everywhere. They're in every state in the United States. They're in every country in the world. They're towns that, you know, feel that lost industry, that lost hope. And that's the beautiful thing about sports and storytelling, is that it brings people together. And we live in a world right now that is so, you know, identity politics are they're almost a religion. And for that to be checked at the door in sports, in theatrical film, and in music, concerts, we all walk in, we go together, and the French called it collective effervescence. It's basically you feeling, a French writer called it that. We're all feeling the same thing at the same time in the same moment, and it's almost like oxytocin with the baby, or like you have this bonding mechanism, and I don't know, I don't mean to over-romanticize it, but it's romantic. It's like a beautiful thing to watch people come together, especially when we feel so divided in every other aspect of our life. So.
A quick example, if I may, and I haven't even had a chance to tell you this, just on how much this town has permeated culture. So obviously we're here at this big marketing conference, and other than AI, probably one of the biggest topics is how can marketing convince their CFO and finance of the value of what they're doing, and we're not out here just spending money, and what are the KPIs that we have to measure? So true story, I was walking through the airport recently in the United Club, and I saw our head of finance, and he came up to me and he said, I'm glad I ran into you. I'm getting married next year, and I'd like to have my bachelor party in Wrexham.
Oh my God.
So if that is not a KPI from finance,
I'll say,
then, you know, a successful partnership. I don't know what else.
He is in for a fucking ride, by the way. They know how to party. Channing Tatum visited town, and well, I was very worried. I'm getting texts in the middle of the night saying something happened. Wait, with the players? Yes. It's bad. It's going on the internet. I'm like, no! It's they go hard in Wrexham. It's a great place to have a bachelor party. He may not survive, though. Just saying.
I love that lesson, though, for even other brands or towns, to your point, Ryan, of like, what can people learn and how can they apply that, of like starting with the fans and telling the story. And
it's having like a central like thing that we all come together for is so, I think it's essential for towns. You know, like a town like Wrexham, their club is their identity, and it's 160 plus years old. It's the third oldest football club on earth, and it's been doing that to varying degrees of success forever. So what we're doing is not inventing anything. We're just amplifying something that's already there and growing it and loving it and nurturing it, and it operates by itself. It's I think there's like a couple thousand people who have had their ashes scattered on the field there. I mean, it's a temple, that stadium. It's wild.
I love it. I've been at Lambeau Field where that's happening in the wind. Not a good idea.
Yeah, not supposed to do it on game day. Just,
No. I don't think you're supposed to do it in general.
No.
It's okay. It's okay. Maggie, I'm going to jump to you next because we're talking about global brands and how we spread them or to keep the heart of them. And I want you to talk a little bit about how you approached that, and then we'll roll the trailer. I'll let you tee it up.
That's exactly right. I mean, I think all of us as sponsors have really thought about what is specific to our brand and how can we, really do something that is unique. But once again, we don't fly to Wrexham, so how can we tell that story as an airline?
It would be nice if you just flew to Wrexham.
If I say it enough, maybe someone
Is that
will,
the next
will start
finance
a fight there.
conversation?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But no, so with Ryan and George and the wonderful storytellers that they are, we actually found this amazing community of Wrexham fans in Argentina. Fun fact, the largest population of Welsh speakers outside of Wales is in Argentina. And so we thought, okay, this is where we can insert our brand. We can bring this group of fans and fly them all the way to the UK. We started out by saying maybe we'll make a 2-minute video for social. It ended up being, the focus of one of the episodes of Welcome to Wrexham. We made a 30-minute documentary that you can watch on board United planes. So I think we have the trailer here to show very quickly.
Love that. I literally had like a spasm when I saw the jersey. I'm so used to being so tense at matches. I get 8,000 steps in like a little, like that, just pacing like I have rabies when the team is playing. Yeah.
Sounds really fun to watch with you.
It's not. This is when I knew I was a fan, because I started this not really knowing anything about the sport. I didn't, and that was, I think, the smartest move we made was to say, I don't know. We don't know. I trust people more who say, I don't know. I don't like it when they never say that. But I now love the sport so much I fucking hate it. That's when everyone in Wales was like, yes, now you know. Now you're a fan.
What do you call the very end of the game?
What's that?
The very end of the match, you have a term, squeaky...
Oh, squeaky bum time. Yep, squeaky bum time. That's not my term, that's theirs. Which I was like, I'm sorry, is there that like do you need an ointment for that? Or is there a... no, squeaky bum time is like the last 8 matches of the season. And now I know what they mean. It's like a fiddle. No, it is actually. You can't do squeaky bum time without the visual aids.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. I think we're going to run a clip of the squeaky bum.
Shachar, talk more about, you led into the fan experience and the player experience with emerging technology and what you see coming up and how you're using it and integrating with Wrexham. Can you talk more about that?
Yeah, so we know that the players use MetaQuest, again, to train, and we have a partnership with Rezel where they can stay in shape on and off the field. And we also recreated Wrexham, again, to scale that experience to fans that aren't able to go to Wrexham. So we've got a clip that actually brings that to life. I can play that.
Hello, sir. Ryan.
Hey, Wrexham are in the final stretch of the season, and some people, not me, because I don't want to jinx it, are whispering about promotion.
Should we book flights for a certain Welsh celebration?
Whoa. Let's go easy there, Rob. What if we book now and we don't get an automatic promotion, but we find ourselves in the playoffs or something?
Okay, first, shut your stupid, dirty little mouth.
Wow.
And second,
We'll use United. They've got no change fees.
United. Oh my God, that's so weird because we have United on the brand on the jersey. So I wonder if there's like a connection there. You froze, buddy.
Going through a tunnel?
Nope. Just thinking about some choices I've made.
Yeah. And he's still thinking about it. That was the wrong clip.
Yeah, it's all good. We'll come back and talk about that in a second, Maggie. Can you all play the meta clip, perhaps?
I am a loyal
pressure.
United flyer,
Yeah,
so
right.
I love United.
Yeah, amazing, yeah. Honestly, sit down, it's so good.
Quest 3.0.
Yeah.
About that. And I thought it was called Meat Quest
That's
for
the
the
next
longest
one.
time.
Yeah.
It is amazing, though. Like, the thing is, the thing I'm inspired by about MetaQuest is that experiences are everything, right? Like, over material items, I have 4 kids. I mean, they remember the experience so much more than anything else. And it's such a gateway to just all of these different experiences. I mean, I got to go in the secret lab. I hope I'm allowed to say that, I don't know. But I saw some shit that was crazy. Oh my God, like crazy. It was just, I left going, human beings are amazing. Like, that was wild, that what I got to, because it was an experience. I was sitting in a stadium. Like, if there was just the smell of Wrexham lager in the air, I would be there. It was wild, really wild.
Send coming soon to
Yeah.
MetaQuest.
Yes, exactly. Get on my face now. No, that didn't, nope. That's not the slogan. We'll workshop it. Yep.
Next week.
Yeah.
So talk more about the future.
Yeah.
I mean, and also I think visualization is such a key part for athletes.
Yeah.
There's data around that. How are you all seeing that and advancing the tech? And are you seeing results from players doing this? Can you share more?
Yeah, and also just being able to be present is important. And so there's the data that they have from working out and from Rezzle that is integrated when they are working out with it. But to Ryan's point of like feeling immersive, we also have the glasses, which I'm wearing, and Michael, who's up there, wore his when Wrexham was promoted back to back to back, and we did the first ever Gatorade dunk when he wore them in Europe. And it was the first Gatorade dunk overseas. And, you know, it was the first time that the Wrexham social team like had the glasses on the field. And you got to experience the game hands-free. Like many of you right now have your phones up, which is great because you're capturing some amazing content of Maggie, because she's so beautiful. You know, the thing is, like, when you don't have your phone in front of you and you can actually take a picture like this and take content hands-free, you're able to live in that moment. And so Michael got dunked with a whole bunch of fruit punch Gatorade. Rob and Ryan got to dunk him, which was amazing. And the players were there on the field. The social media team was there on the field. The whole stadium was there on the field. And you got to experience that hands-free. And so it was a really special moment. And we do have that clip, hopefully queued up.
Let's see.
Let's see. Oh, it's sideways. Well, it's really
Like,
good
you get
sideways.
the point, though. I mean, it's.
For
I
the
thought-
record, Meta
Can
did
you roll
shoot
my
that
8th birthday
correctly.
party? Because it was so sad. Oh God, that's sideways.
I just want to Meta did shoot it properly.
did.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was
We
not
did.
sideways.
The person
having
was not
some technical
sideways at all.
difficulties.
No. My shoes that I had got turned this beautiful pink color, and I was like asking the company that makes, like, can you make that color?
Yeah.
Because like it's a really special moment for me, and it was that day was a day I'll never forget. But there's a moment where you see me kind of collapse because it looks like I'm sort of collapsing out of relief. Like, oh my God, we did this. Nobody's ever gone 3 in a row like this, and I'm collapsing with a holy shit, what are we doing? We're not ready for the Championship League. We have to change the field. We have to fix the urinals in the stadium. We have to, and then I realized people were watching me, so I got a big smile on my face, and I turned around and hugged Rob. But it's very much the Canadian-American dynamic Rob and I have. Yeah, that's right. Vancouver, Canada. He knows all about it. That's how we greet each other in Vancouver, too, by the way. We go, Vancouver! But it was a moment of like both panic and elation, and I've never felt anything like that before. And Rob and I do not make football decisions ever. So, like, we don't pretend to know about your average 4-year-old in Wrexham has forgotten more about the game than I'll ever know. So we don't do that, and I think that's also something that's been really helpful for this experience and for us to experience it, because we get to have relationships with the players, and gets it. There's no weird sort of what about a contract extension stuff. We don't make those decisions. So we're the storytelling device. That's it.
Well, I feel like listening and learning keeps coming up when you're talking, and the power of that you see in the output and the success of what you're building with Wrexham.
Yeah, it's amazing how simple it is to just occasionally shut up and listen. But you learn. I've just the amount I've learned. Aside from my family, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever been a part of, and I hope to God I get to do it for the rest of my life.
I love it. Yeah. Maggie, United is a legacy brand that has been undergoing modernization and evolving, especially over the last 5 years with huge changes, the world's largest airline now, and one might argue best. I mean, maybe we don't argue, we just say best, right? Yeah, okay.
I feel like the front row is sort of...
Suspiciously supportive.
Yeah, the game is fixed.
So weird. Wrexham, also a legacy brand, undergoing a transformation in many ways. Can you talk about the parallels you see for the brands, and then you can reference the film that we played earlier?
Yeah, I mean, these guys have just been a total shot in the arm for us to think about creatively. Let's look at everything that feels, very airline playbook. So we have an amenity kit and pajamas, if you're on a long-haul flight traveling internationally. And a couple of summers ago, we did a Wrexham-themed amenity kit. We turned the, actual kit that the players wear on board into pajamas and did some really fun content with Ryan and Rob and the team. We got rid of change fees, so we famously used to charge you a fee to change your flight. We had done that for decades. Every airline had done that. It was the most annoying thing to customers. It took the pandemic for us to finally wise up and get rid of that. But even 5 years later, all the consumer research that we have shows that people still don't know that we don't charge you a fee to change your flight. They think it was maybe a pandemic era, policy that we have. So again, enter our friends at Maximum Effort and at Wrexham, and we've been able to put together that video that you saw. Any chance we get, we can't communicate that message enough. And so there's one thing to put it on a billboard outside the airport, but to use the power of Ryan and Rob and their social channels has just been awesome. And again, something our competitors really aren't doing.
So smart.
I also don't charge change fees for anything, really. I love change. There are a lot of parallels that we have with United that are, obviously legacy brands, and those sorts of things demand kind of a sort of respect. And the creative side, though, has been the thing that I've most loved with them. Is the most undervalued, I think, feeling we can have is boredom, and I mean that. I mean, like, people are absolutely allergic to being bored, and perfectionism is a fucking disease. And so many people don't realize that you have to be bad at something before you can be good at it. And that is what creativity is. It's being bored, having a moment where you just think of some absolutely crazy, bonkers idea, and to have partners like Maggie and and Shachar to be able to actually execute them. I mean, that Doogie Howser thing we turned. Oh, I guess it wasn't actually technically Doogie Howser because of rights. But it was, I think that was a moment's notice. Like, it was a one call and done. That's very rare for brands that are the size of United and Meta to say yes to something that's a little risky and kind of dangerous and fun, but in a moment's notice. Usually it's 8 months, maybe we can do it in 8 months. But when you operate at the speed of culture and you're a brand, oh man, it's like rocket fuel for the brand. It really is, and that's been the greatest privilege of this whole thing, is to work with people who can execute things like that at speed. It's been amazing. We call it fast advertising, basically, but it's it's so much fun to do with you guys.
Thank you, likewise.
Shachar and Ryan, can you talk a little bit about how you're thinking of the upcoming tech and evolving and making Wrexham maybe a model for the experimentation with tech, both for the athletes, the fans, the stadium? I know you went to the secret lab, Ryan.
I mean, I saw it firsthand.
I'm sure you're allowed to talk about it all.
Absolutely. It's called, I wish I could beat myself up. It was pretty amazing.
So one thing that we are working through is, we talked about recreating Wrexham, the stadium. So we're going to be bringing that to Horizon Sports and bringing that soon. We're also going to help you guys go on summer tour this year, and We, on Monday, announced that we're extending the Ray-Ban Meta partnership with Oakley Meta, which is super exciting, and bringing performance AI glasses. And so we're super excited to see the Wrexham team rocking AI glasses this summer.
It's also like the experiential part of it, I think, is so
Yeah.
cool for other sports as well. I hope to see it. I mean, by the way, I have an extra water. Does anyone need a water? You need it because your hand went up right away. I'm not throwing this. I've been around lawyers. You can walk up here and grab it. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Oh, you're from Canada. Still can't have the water. It's hers. But I appreciate it. Yeah, Hugh Jackman and I bought a Sail GP team, or Team Australia. Well, I know Hugh is from Australia. I thought he was from Winnipeg, Manitoba. But that's another sport that, like, you know, the more you get to see sort of what can't be seen from the side or the shore is exactly what experience like Meta would be perfect. I mean, just these are the things that the applications to me are like kind of limitless. It's pretty wild.
I mean, and it's a sport that you want to be present for. You want to be able to experience it and not miss anything. And if you're watching it through your 4-inch screen, you're going to miss a lot of things. So.
I always love telling like filmmakers that, oh, I saw your movie on my Apple Watch. Just watch their face fall. Like, I'm just kidding. I didn't.
Now you
watch
can say
it
on your
on
Meta
my
glasses.
Nano.
Meta glasses, you mean? On your Meta
Yeah.
glasses?
Well, watching a movie through that's nuts. It's like it feels like IMAX. You're sort of looking
Yeah.
all over, and yeah.
And on a United flight,
Right. I know. We're talking.
coming
Especially
soon.
with
Coming
Starlink.
soon.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a nice little.
Everybody's friendly.
Yeah,
I
you
know.
said like
Crazy.
another
I know.
deal right here. It's
Brands
great.
usually hate each other. I don't know. You guys gonna do like a DC Marvel movie next? What's happening?
Not now.
Okay, I like it.
Someone's
Okay, we're going to
got it.
pivot to rivalries. The opposite of good conversation here. A huge part of sports, obviously, a part that people love. As a Packer fan, I can tell you, you know, the Bears, not a fan. Sorry, Maggie. And you're not really either. You just United, you have to like it. Ryan, more and more celebrities are buying into teams, not buying teams, buying in, I'd say, like, right, for the most part, including maybe one in Birmingham City who you'll face.
Oh, are you talking about Tom Brady?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Him joining sports, it's like a little bit less threatening because you're like, yeah, we lost at sports to Tom Brady. Like, I mean, the guys, I was actually, my only worry was, is he allowed to play? I don't want him playing. But yeah, no, I think, you know, people in the sports industry understand that the context is everything. I mean, there's sports of all sports, really. I mean, it's particularly ones that have a legacy are romantic. You know, they're so beautiful. There's like they're generational. They're things that, you know, you meet so many people, and like we start to know the actual people at Wrexham, the people that are in the state. We know where they sit, and you kind of, you know, there's a woman who's also named Maggie who's about 93, and she sits down below, and she always underdresses. She's freezing, and she knows I'll come over and flirt with her and give her a little blanket, and you know, and she's come there since she was a little girl to this same stadium. It's the oldest international football stadium on earth, and you know, so she's been going there something like 90 years or, you know, 89 years, and it's just beautiful. I love that sports, you know, has that kind of romanticism about it, and it always will.
And unlocks the storytelling opportunities born from the fans, born from the players.
And this is why I get why sports guys are jumping into it. I also get why, you know, singers and actors and writers and all sorts of people, the Rousseau brothers, I think, are part of a team as well, you know, get involved because it's maximal storytelling. It's like we don't get to control the outcome. We just get to provide as many tools as possible to win. But like that sport in particular, it's so unpredictable. I mean, we have a saying called "doing a Wrexham." I mean, doing a Wrexham now is like applicable to almost anything. But it's that last minute, everything can change. Your entire destiny can change, and it's sad too because you lose players, right? Like this is the time of year where when we won or we were promoted that third time, I like also sunk down because I knew I was going to go down there and see players that I may never see again, you know, and you sort of, it's a terrible part of it. It's a horrible feeling, but Tom Brady doesn't have a heart, doesn't seem to care. I'll just
That's
get
fine.
the shit talking started now. But yeah, they were great this year. Birmingham, like they were 111 points, which is I think a record that only one other team has ever hit 111 points. I think it was Wrexham. Yeah, we did it, but we did it in the National League, which is much lower, but still. Yeah, they were great. Birmingham was a great team. It was a great team.
Totally. Agreed. But go Wrexham.
Oh, always, yes. Up the
Obviously.
town forever
All right,
and ever.
we are going to wrap up. I think the last question is, what are you excited about in the future of sports in regards to Meta, Facebook, and Ryan, you hinted a little bit about sailing and what else you're looking at and how you're thinking about it. You want to start, Shachar?
Hands-free, enjoying the sport, watching it through your glasses.
I'll make it specific to Wrexham. We're back for year 3 as front of jersey sponsor.
Woo!
So we're really, really excited about that.
I'm just concerned about that low rumble we're all feeling. Is that normal?
I think it's called
Okay,
Spotify.
yes, I hear a yes over there. That's normal. That's really all I was worried about. Yeah, you hear that, right?
I think it's Spotify Beach,
Oh,
perhaps.
okay, good.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We're under attack. All right. No, it's fine. No, I'm really excited. Wrexham is so unpredictable. I'm ready for anything. You know, it's even in a season where we're promoted, you're crying one minute and you're laughing the next, and that's also a real, to me at least, is a reflection of life. It's a real reflection of real life, and it's the most beautiful town in the world. So I can't wait to get back there and see where we go.
I love it. Well, thank you all for being here for the
thank you.
conversation. Thank you all.